Okay, this is the video on how to make a cylinder. So first step is to get your supplies out. You need slip, scoring tool, needle tool, wood knife, and optional a tube. Okay, second step. You need to cut your slab. When you cut a slab, you need a long one for a cylinder. So if you are making a vase that is as tall, a cylinder vase that is as tall as our mug template, if I get my ruler, the tall mug template 6 inches, that's plenty big. I said it needs to be at least 3 inches, okay? Then you would measure a finger down. If you want it taller, you need to measure 2 fingers down, okay? So when you're cutting and rolling out your slab, you measure 2 fingers down and cut it, and then, or 1 finger if it's this size, and then when you roll it in the slab roller, you put it in hot dog, not hamburger, okay? Also, you need a base. I have slabs already cut out over there on the wedging table. I already have some that are leather hard too. You can use those as well, okay? So step number 2 was to get your clay ready and get your slabs ready. Slab options. Step number 3. So you can hand roll the slab with thickness strips and slab mat, or you can use the slab roller. So you need a slab for the base and a slab for the side. It needs to be 3 inches tall, at least. So this is leather hard. You can use a soft one too. It doesn't matter. I like a leather hard base. I think it's easier to work with. Okay, so step 3. Step 3 is to cut the side and the base. So for the base, the large circle cookie cutter, it's a little bigger than your base, is much better than the little one. It fits, but it's easier to use the big one and trim it. Or you can find something else that's circular to cut. Okay? So you are either on step 3 or 4 on your notes. Okay, so when you cut your base, you can decide if you want to use the bigger one or the smaller one. Just because this is small, I'm going to use the smaller one today. I would recommend you use the bigger one. This is very leather hard, so if I can't cut it with the cookie cutter, I can get it started with the cookie cutter and then use my needle tool. This chunk is so leather hard, it needs to go in the orange bin. I'm going to put it in there in a sec, with the plastic bag. Whereas this clay, this scrap is going to go in the green bin with the plastic bag. Okay, so I have my base. You're taking notes? Circular base. Now you can choose to use the mug templates, or you can freehand cut it. Okay? If you are going to put patterns in it, I have all these cool stamps. I have these roller stamps, wood stamps, bisque-fired stamps, rubber stamps, the bottom of your shoe. You need to do it before you cut it out. So if you didn't do this for your mug, you might want to try it. So you would put the pattern in the clay before you cut it out. Now you can freehand this. I have rulers, or you can use the template to trace this. I'm just going to cut the ends. So this clay is really plastic and soft. So this would go in the bag, in the green bin. Don't just shove it in there. Otherwise it dries out too much. Don't leave it on your table. Okay, next step. It might be 4, it might be 5. The next step is to slip and score the base to this. Now, you can use the cylinder, but you would need more clay. Look. So I recommend, if you want to use the cylinder, when you cut your clay out of the big block, Measure 2 fingers down so it's tall enough and wide and long enough to fit. You don't have to use the cylinder, but if you make a tall one, the tube, the cylinder carpet tube, if you make a tall one, it's very helpful. If you're going to freehand it, here's your next step. You need your slip and your scoring tool. Oh, my slip's dry. So your scoring tool and your slip. If your slip is dry, I have extra slip. Just come find me. Okay. Okay, so you will want to slip and score your base. I recommend you get a banding wheel. The spinny wheels with the 2 parts, it's a lot easier to build your form with the banding wheel. Okay, I also want to slip and score the outside because this ring is small. Okay, now this inside part and base are going to touch. So I've shown you this with your mug before. So then you're going to take, so this one I'm going to put on top of the cylinder because, it barely fits. Oh, I think I can put it around. So you have to decide if you're going to put it around the cylinder or on top because it does need to overlap. So I'm going to actually put it on top. So this might be a little tricky. That's why it's nice to have the tube. Okay, so here's the important step that some of you missed. Okay, once it's overlapped, watch this trick. You take your needle tool at an angle and you cut it. I did this before I slipped and scored it on purpose. That way you get rid of some of this excess clay that can go in the green bin. Now I'm ready to slip and score and it's already at an angle. So I get my slip and I'm slipping and scoring. And now you really, really want to work on this seam. Any seams, because they crack. So I might wreck my design a little bit, but after I slip and score it, I can go back with the small rolling pin and smooth it, or the edge of this, and then I can use the tool again to apply my design again. So it's super important, I'm not taking the time to finish it, but that you finish the outside seam, the bottom seams, and the inside seam. And then you work on your rim. So for this first assignment, we're only making decorative cylinders that are 3 inches or taller. Okay, with really good rim, really clean lines, really well slip and scored. Then you'll take a picture of it, and eventually we'll make a new page called Cylinders and Vases on our Google site.